It's true, that thing does kind of look like some soapy spillage. I never really thought about that. Let's go, Mike. What games are you not playing this week? Let's get the old Affinity Designer open. Folks, I'm gonna shoot you straight. I don't have a big picture plan for where all this is headed today. Some days we're just winging it. Today's one of those. It's a winging it kind of day. Just setting up a document here. I've been doing only like square posts lately because they are they're so much easier to crop for Instagram. Hey Pat. Ahoy. What's good? I need to get my YouTube chat up here on the side so it's visible. It's a little bit slow going today. I started watching Succession this evening. I was super sucked into that. It's kind of a late start. I'm good. It's been a really lazy Sunday, which is nice when you get those. And got some nice hair. I need a haircut. Yeah, what else is good? Played a lot of games this weekend. Played a lot of Age of Empires yesterday. Really big into that. It's very fun. And yeah, not very good at it. I'm awful at it. Like we got destroyed. We played some bot matches against the hardest bots and just got run over yesterday. Like it wasn't even a contest. And so I got to get better at them. But yeah, kind of trying to feel out what kind of thing I want to do. We haven't done anything like really trippy and psychedelic in a while. We've done a lot of like nature stuff lately. Always a fan of drawing a mountain, or a desert or something like that. Sometimes it comes to me with like maybe some colors. So let's just I don't know. We could also just do something with like some abstract, with some shapes. Haven't done that. And then maybe see what we find out of it. Could be fun. Let's just see. I'll start with some colors and then let's see what we get out of it. We'll just kind of do my thing where I'll just kind of I'll line these out. Let's get like an off-white and kind of get like one of these like bluish blacks, kind of aubergine. No plan, could draw a sloth. That's my default. It's my go-to. You know this. Let's see here. Let's see what the color wheel gives us. If we start with that green, what else? I like that pairing. That's a nice pairing. What else can we get with this? Maybe like a nice yellow of sorts. Something kind of muted. Give me more notepad. This is looking like a Pinterest board at this point. These are some earthy colors I'm getting here. Let's maybe get something a little bit more out there. Let's go a little deeper in the saturation. What you playing these days, Mike? Let's make that a little bit more muted. the lightness. Let's get a dark version of everything. Let's kind of build out a palette. Something we can use. Oh, that gets really red really quickly. That's interesting. That's a funny color. Because that one looks really close to that one. Let's maybe play it out like that. Maybe that's the bright version. For more punchy saturation. Yellow is always the hardest to work with. Because it gets so brown so quickly. Hey, Daniel. Dude, it's been a minute. How you doing? Right now, I'm just kind of fiddling with some colors, looking for something, looking for some meaning in life, looking for some, looking for something to speak to me. Kind of want something to do with the blue. Maybe not use the green, even though we started with that, I think. Let's see how far we get with these three colors. And let's see what happens. I've got like a kind of idea in my head. Let's try something. Well, Danielle, I hope all things considered, things are good. Let's go down. That can be our blackish color. All right. Let's start putting down some shapes. I don't really like, so composition wise, I don't know. I have kind of idea in my head that I don't know. So what I'm kind of imagining when we just pulled out these colors. All right, so like I kind of want to do like a robot or a statue. It's kind of like these colors, and it's like eyes are like these yellow. We got like some red lights that are in the scene, kind of working those. That's kind of what I'm thinking when I see this color combo. I think we can adjust these slightly. Not quite there. That one gets a little bit more muted. This one gets a little bit muted as well. Because this is like shadow, this is in 4-light, and this is highlight. So I don't know if we'll have enough proper to do this. How do these colors match up against this? That's okay. We can work with that. Okay. Now in terms of composition, yeah, what do we do? What's something we could do? Maybe we're looking at it from like a ground perspective kind of thing. Maybe something, if we make the ground like kind of down here. Something like this, or maybe we even make it like the ground is red. I don't know, because we could play with shadows a bit more then. So what I'm kind of thinking is like maybe we're like looking up from perspective, so maybe this is like a big old foot like on us, you know. I'm just gonna kind of work out the perspective with some shapes, and then we'll work work it out. Like maybe something like this. Let's get this rounded. If this is like our foot, let's just make this blue so we can kind of see it. It's pickle. It was always a pickle. It was never not a pickle. I mean, I kind of want to do some like exaggerated perspectives here. Like I'm just kind of, we're gonna use this as a sketch, you know, like so. Like this is like a leg, so it's like really far away. Like this massive thing is taking like a huge step. Here, I need to make the inside of this, so we're gonna redraw all this. This is just so we can get the why can't I actually? Why is that not behaving? This is completely, it's not using a fill. Where is this behind it? I'm so confused. Your long message. Hey, Miguel. I don't see a long message. Where was your long message? What's good, Miguel? It's good seeing you, man. I'm really concerned why these shapes aren't taking on any colors. Like, do you see, like, I can see the shape through it, and I don't understand why. Oh, it has a 0% opacity. How did I do that? Okay. We're getting in the groove, okay. Ho! You have amnesia. Wait, what? Because wait. You must have, when you were born, you had a birth trauma, and they did MRT 2 months ago, and the results said the blood is having problems going to my brain. Wait, what? What? You have amnesia. That's rough, man. That's a heavy prognosis. So that was 1 to 2 months ago. So what's changed in 1 to 2 months for you? Man, that's heavy, dude. A lot of folks are facing hard times lately in the community. So this is something like if this is like the body, we would then have like the leg kind of coming up. All right, so like the anatomy's not amazing. We got anatomical problems, but what's new? I mean, that's not exactly my strong point. That's not why we're coming here, right? We're not coming here for my fantastical anatomy ability. We're coming here for the lulz. Do you see it? All right, hold up. Yeah, the composition. We got some problems. Spaceworm, space vacuum. Actually, spaceworm might be a better idea where we're going. Now, I'm just trying to sketch out like a composition of something. I don't know. I got like a half-baked idea in my head, and I can't really work it out how I want to do it. And usually, when there's something like this, I'll sketch it out beforehand, and I haven't done that today. So I'm just kind of playing with it, we're working it out. I have a backup idea that we can also do. Space vacuum is the fallback. Daniel, that's so rough, man. If there's anything I do, man, that's possible, just tell me. Is there anything you want me to draw today? I mean, I'm not gonna draw a wrestler. I'm not gonna draw. We're not gonna do any furries today. It's not today. All right, we're gonna back out of this. This isn't really doing what I wanted to do, but that's fine because we're gonna do something else. But we're gonna keep the same color scheme, and we're gonna do. I kind of want to do. Okay, so it's going to be isometric-ish, but it's not going to be a proper isometric thing, because we're going to use the same tool that we use for all this, but we're going to adjust it slightly. See, we're gonna play with the grid a little bit because we want it to be kind of different, kind of a different perspective, but close. Something kind of like that. And let's see here. This is so interesting how you can play with this tool. You can do so much cool stuff. It's kind of a weird perspective, but I think we can have fun with it. Doing the same as usual. Before I knew that I have amnesia. Wow. So, I mean, okay, so what is... I mean, I'm just... I just know, like, maybe a pop culture definition of amnesia, but, like, what does it mean for your day-to-day? Like, are you forgetting things, or do you... like, are there gaps in your like day-to-day timeline? Like, what does it mean for you? So while I work out this this grid for our perspective, we're gonna do something, but I'm gonna change it. What type of noise is it? No, it's just my guidelines for my grid, because I want to do a very specific type of thing. We're gonna go. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, there we go. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a cube, fit it to the plane. We'll have it kind of go off screen, kind of like this. And we're gonna have it kind of go like that. Maybe to like the middle, something like that. And let's get rid of this, and let's give this color. We'll make this red. Okay. Maybe to like right there. And then we'll create another one. Here we go. This will be the side. And we'll just pop this boy in here. And we're just using the same like grid tools that we've always used, but we're just using them in a different way. I'm going to convert this one to curves. What I'm going to do is pull this one down, put a point in the middle. We're just going to drag handles to about right there. And I'm just going to pull this up. This is going to give this like a little bit of like an arcing kind of motion. The whole thing is like getting a little trippy, little insane, like illogical perspectives. And we're just gonna work with those, I think. It's a weird perspective. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I don't know if that's how I want to do this. So I was thinking there's like a giant, like robot head here that is like in this path is like walking into it. Maybe we'll make it like a narrow path. You know, something like this. Actually, I don't. The longer I look at this, the less I like it kind of being arched, because it needs to have like a bottom part then. So I think I'll just make this straight. We'll just delete these other parts. We'll just kind of drag that down. I think this is straight. No, we'll just drag this up. Make it kind of narrow like this. Here we go. Part 1 of 2 or 3. Here we go. Let's check in on Neil. I don't know, but I think that I've 2 types of amnesia at the same time. Selective amnesia. Patient forgets some of the events that occurred during some limited period of time, but retains memory of universal knowledge. As a rule, such cases are connected with the mental traumas received as a result of these events. For example, I will never forget my names of my 2 friends, and I will never forget English. Okay. So there are multiple types of amnesia. When you type amni, you get amnesia, and you get amnesty. I'm looking up the different types. There are many different types of amnesia. I didn't know about this. There are many types. All right, part 2. Fixative amnesia. Inability to remember, store, and reproduce new information. As well as to fix in the mind current events and events in various events. The patient is not impaired in conscious and motivation, but cannot remember what just happened for lunch or what happened a few minutes ago. He may maintain a conversation, and after his companions have left, will assure that he had no one. If the person that he had talked to 2 minutes ago comes along and asks if they've seen each other. Okay. But is it that severe? Is it minutes for you, or is it hours, or is it days? Like, what's the... Also, I mean, how is that treated? The Wikipedia article literally then goes to treatment. One technique is cognitive therapy. Are there any like techniques you use to remember things? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that this is like a big old, I was thinking like a robot mouth. I can't seem to draw like a proper thing, so we're gonna use the perspective. The perspective tool is very strange in this perspective because it's so strange size. It's looking like a tongue, but that can be something we play with. Maybe we make something else. Like, I don't know, the robot head thing isn't speaking to me yet. Maybe we add something else instead. Maybe we change it. Maybe it's more like I know we've done the dumb portal thing, but maybe we play with that. Like maybe that's like this thing in here, and we draw something inside of it, and then I don't know. Let's just figure out the composition. Let's just play. I think when I'm normally like when I'm doing a thing where I'm just kind of making it up and we're just playing, I think it's better if I do this like on the iPad or something where I can kind of like sketch, or like with the the tablet, because it's so tricky to just kind of like draft in vectors, because like coming up with stuff is a little bit more difficult than I initially considered. Oops, sorry. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Got this like rainbow road we're building here. Fam, I don't know. I tell you what, I know what we're gonna do here. We're gonna do it like this. Wait, how can I stretch this on this? Okay, that's fine if it gets long. We'll go like that. I think one thing I'll do is I'll make the background maybe like a proper, maybe not proper black, but way darker, because I'm going to use, I think, this. And then, yeah, for this, I might go proper black. Can I just turn off the grid? This is so noisy. Can I make it? Wait, that's better. just way less. I'm still gonna turn it off, I think. Yeah. Let's just turn it off. Let's play in this. One thing I'm thinking is like maybe this is like a... We're gonna group this. Put it in the back. I think we're gonna need to come up with some fresh colors, but I think this could be fun. So let's make some shapes here. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to use these colors. These won't be the ones we use, I don't think. But it'll help us see what perspectives we're going to do. And then we can figure out the rest. So let's do a couple of these. I'll just use these three colors as the examples. All right, that should be maybe. Should be the dark one. All right. Yes, it's a weird perspective for sure. So I wonder, can I just like create like a few of these? And kind of work out their scales and sizes. We make this one kind of long back here. Maybe that one's long, but also then kind of short, you know, like maybe it goes down there. The yellow is pretty ugly. Hey, HPD. What is good? I'm just gonna use this this thing as like an example. Kind of building a shape. Just kind of, let's maybe even pull some of these into the foreground. Maybe this one will be like over here. Like that. I like that. And then we'll play with even more of these over here. Like maybe this one goes over here, but then like stretches across. Maybe that's like one over there. That's like really big, so maybe we just move that back. Big old refrigerator over there. Maybe that's more over here. What's the idea? Well, so I've been like, I'm a little underprepared today, and so when I showed up, I didn't have like an amazing idea for what I would draw. So I kind of just picked out some colors, and then I started like kind of sketching out some ideas. Most of those were pretty awful, if I'm gonna just really be honest with myself. They weren't really quite doing what they needed to do. So but kind of in that journey of kind of playing with some stuff, I think I found like a kind of a cool composition. So I'm gonna run with it and see how far we get. I haven't quite revealed how it all fits together, but I'm sure you can kind of piece together some of the pieces here. We got like kind of these bricks we're building. These aren't final colors. We're gonna change all the colors, but I've kind of got this idea of like You know, in Cyberpunk 2077, like these big old, like these streets with like the buildings coming up on the side, and there's like these holograms and stuff. I don't know, I kind of got like a vision of something like that. So I'm just kind of putting together something kind of like that, and it's like a pseudo isometric perspective. It's not proper isometric at all. It's kind of a made up perspective, but I'm playing with that, and it's kind of weird and interesting. So trying some new things, not sticking to the script too tightly today. We're just gonna have some fun. But I hope you're doing good, and I hope that's okay. That some days I just do it live. Why does this, oh yeah, on the other layer. Maybe this is like a cool building that has like a, I should probably group these. Maybe that one also has like a bridge going across it or something. Or maybe also like this road maybe even goes like, you know, like across. Maybe it like turns here as well. It goes even behind the buildings. I don't actually know how to make this look correct in this perspective, so we're gonna have to play with this. Pulling this in. Gotta make these all be a couple layers higher. It's gotta be, let's see, behind this. And this one needs to be in front of that, but also behind it. That's pretty annoying. That's layer hell right there. That's where we're at. Just make this one slightly smaller. I've seen a very nice Vimeo Builder thingy with 175 characters in it. I've seen some of those, but I think only from like specific, like I saw like a Marvel one once or like a League of Legends one once, but I don't know if I know the one you're looking at. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's like a city thing. I don't know. Just kind of playing with it, Miguel. I don't know if the perspective matches correctly. It might actually be a little bit broader. I think I might need to make this like 2 buildings to then get the scale like above it. We'll do that a little bit later. Got for me. Oh, that's cool. Let's look at this. Let's look at this together. Alright, let's see if there's 175 characters in this. Let's see. All right, so we got Hollow Knight. 1. I know this character, but I couldn't tell you its name. I also know that character. I know that this guy's from oh shoot, what is it called? It's this game. It's like this wall ball game. What's it called? Hold up. I gotta pull up Steam. I'll tell you what it's called. This is gonna drive me crazy. Let's see, I got a filter here. Ready to play. What do I got? Do I not have it installed? Oh no, what is it called? We're not leaving until I remember what this stupid game is. Lethal League. It's called Lethal League. Alright, glad that was derailed for this. Yeah, it's called Lethal League. This kid's from Lethal League. This is Super Meat Boy. This is Guacamole. Don't know what any of this is. This is SteamWorld Dig. This is Shovel Knight. This is the bridge building game. The goo. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about. The goo bridge building game. You know, you get it. This is Octodad. Or wait. Or is that SteamWorld Dig? No, this is other mining game. Where it's like a... Anyway, this is Fez. This is... Man, my memory is going to hell. What is that one's name? It's probably really small for y'all, isn't it? Can I make this any bigger? Open image in new tab, because now I can zoom. Okay, yeah, here we go. This one. Oh, it's Cuphead. We know Cuphead. This is also Miami. What is it? What's the shooting game? Miami. Oh my brain. It's killing me. Also, this is Don't Starve. What's the game? Yeah, okay. But you know what I'm talking about. What else we got back here? I don't know these at all. Oh wait, no, this is Medusa from Hades. I know her. Don't know who this is. This ninja, I think, is from that one ninja game. That I can't remember the name is. This is also Hades. Let's see here. What do we got back here? I don't know what this is. A great film builder. This is the worm from Nidhogg. This is the Hyper Light Drifter. I can remember Hyper Light Drifter, but I can't remember this stupid Miami whatever game. Deuce is here, yeah. Let's see here. Hyper Light Drifter is here on the finger with the pizza. I don't know this Quack. I don't know what this means. Oh, it's the Goose Game, Honk. We like him. There's is that Slender Man? I never played Hyper Light Drifter. I'd like to. Don't know what any of this is. Oh, I know the Imposter Game. Brain is not working. Hey Melon. This is this one game, Hellion or something like that. Carrigan. I don't know what it's called. But you play like this monster. What else we got here? seen half of this. This is also no. This is not Cuphead. This is this other game with the with like the oil. Oh, look at this! Look at this dog. I know this dog. I know this dog. This is what's the name of that stupid Wargroove. Wargroove. I keep having to go back into my Steam library. This is the dog from Wargroove. Best boy. Yeah, I think I got 12 out of the 170, so I'm pretty good. I'm sure it's in the Twitter thread. I think I called out Hollow Knight, right? Yeah, that was like the first one I saw. I don't know, the banana. Or the 3. It's all good. Yeah, no, it's a fun one. This image, it's next level. I don't know if I could pull off something like this, to be honest. This is a big thing. What am I looking at here? Oh boy. All right, let's see. Crashlands. I know I saw Crashlands. Bastion was 12. I never saw Bastion over here. Oh, that was Bastion? Hold up. That's Bastion? Okay, that's pretty poor rendition of Bastion. Oh, I mean, this robot, this artist is fantastic, but you could have done a better Bastion. Transistor was 14. Transistor was over there too. No, okay. I think they did this part last, and they were trying to get out of there. Oh, 18 was Hyper Light Drifter. It's really cool. Indie game Vimla Builder. That's cool. Some of these I hadn't heard before. Spelunky. Spelunky was 165. I couldn't think of Spelunky. And actually, like, some of these games I do know, I just wouldn't have maybe picked out the character. Like Crypto the Necrodancer, I totally know that game, but I wouldn't have picked out 145. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's a Necromancer. Yeah, I can never remember the name system stuff. Slay the Spire. What was Slay the Spire? 104. 104. We have 103. Hold up. That was Slay the Spire. Right here? No, wait. Oh no, that was Slay the Spire. The thing that pops out at the very beginning of the game. They were sitting on it. Oh, I didn't see that at all. The whale. Oh, I didn't see that at all. I thought that. Wait, what is that? That's 103? What's 103? Forge Quest? Never heard of it. Hand of Fate, that's your favorite game, Daniel. 93. Where was 93? This is a clunky way of viewing an image. 93. 107. 93 right there. Oh, I said that was a ninja game or some shit. That's cool. That's cool. That was a great image. It was a lot of fun. Valhalla. I actually just started playing that game. 40. Valhalla. It's a pretty neat game. It's a little bit weird. The writing is simultaneously very good and a little corny, but it's neat. Oh, is this super hot? Super hot. 42. 42. Super hot. Yeah, I got it. Nailed it. Anyway, let's get back to drawing. That was too much fun. Let's get back to something serious, like me working out where these bricks go. Skip this one. Or skip that one too. You can kind of just tell it's going to be a sleeper. So I think I'll maybe pull this one up, and what we'll do, I'll put it in front of this one. And I think what I do here is I send it back. We take these. That's how we can kind of get one in between like that by clever trickery. $200 characters, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do it. I think I'd run out of gas. I'm already running out of gas on this thing. We haven't even started yet. That's kind of weird. I send it all the way to the back. Oh yeah, there we go. Just using these three colors as like just references because they have really clearly defined dimensions, and then we can just use those to work stuff out. Can we just if I want things to be different heights, I have to really move them around. I think this could be a fun piece if I can get the parts in place in a way that's fun, and we can make these buildings interesting. But we'll just have to see. Hey, Melon. I'm doing pretty good. It's been I've had a relaxing Sunday. I'm pretty underprepared for the stream today, and that's why we're kind of just winging it with this piece. I was hoping to do like some album art, but I haven't quite nailed down the specifics of how it all works out. So like the project that I was kind of banking on kind of fell through. So it's not just my laziness that we don't have a proper theme set up today. But overall, I'm feeling good. I'm pretty stoked for the upcoming week. Actually, don't have a ton more like work days before it's the end of the year. So I'll be taking some vacation coming up, which I'm very excited about. Having some time off. I didn't really take a vacation this year at all. And so just having a chance to take some time and reset, relax, visit some family. Really looking forward to that. So we got some cool stuff on that front brewing. And what else? Yeah, I mean, I do have some cool projects up and coming. is always fun. YouTube removed the dislike button. I don't know what that means for me in my day-to-day life. It doesn't really mean a lot, actually, at all. It actually changes absolutely nothing about how I live my life, but what do y'all think about that? Has it ruined your weekend? The removal of the dislike button? Let's add this file, we'll call it lost, because that's what I am today. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that, Miguel? What's the Miguel take on the dislike button? Cancel. Wait. Here's the hundreds. He does what? They didn't remove the dislike button. They're removing the count, which makes no difference. Oh, they're just removing the count. I've been reading too much fake news. What is this guy? It's the guy who does all this. He does all things. Oh, it's like how he does it. Oh, cool. That's neat. Oh, I'm not streaming my screen. Sorry. You're just watching me watch something. Cool. I'm going to follow this person because they do cool work. They have dozens of followers. Yeah, that's fantastic. What else? What else is new? What else is cooking? I've been losing a lot of Dota games lately. I don't know what's up. I had a dude just straight up griefing me yesterday that was very tilting. There's one hero in Dota that you can tether to an ally, and you can teleport them anywhere on the map, including the enemy fountain, the enemy base, where there's a laser gun that will quickly kill you. And he didn't like us critiquing how he was playing the game and started getting us and tethering us to the enemy base. And yeah, it's rage-inducing. It makes me lose faith in humanity and my fellow man. It makes me wonder, you know, sometimes you think we're just all on this big rock just kind of floating through space together, you know, and then other times you get that guy on your team and you're thinking, maybe, I don't know what I'm suggesting, but that guy really made me mad. Oh, Miguel just dropped his dissertation here. What do we got? You don't agree with it because it's one of those things that is going to be abused. Oh, we're still talking about dislike button. They're hiding because it's small creators, but I don't believe it. Dislike bombs are used against the big media mostly as a tool for pressure. Yeah. Yeah, Miguel, I think you're onto something that does give the opportunity to kind of hide things. At the same time, there is an element to content creation, and it's dumb. It's dumb, but it's the truth. Like whenever I post something, if I get 100 people saying like, "This is awesome," I'll feel really good, and I'll get one asshat that goes up there and says, "This sucks." I will think so much about the one dude that says, "This sucks." And I mean, it doesn't matter. Like it cost him nothing. And it's the same. Like when I have my videos that I have up there, and you know, I was very proud that I had this one video that had just 100 likes, and I was like, yeah, 100 likes. I got one dislike, and I was like, damn it, someone had to ruin it. I mean, it doesn't really affect me, but it's a fun discussion. Hey Joe, good seeing you. Joe appreciates the dislikes. Helps you be more critical. Ooh, I like that take. No, that's good. There's also that one famous video about what is it? I think it's a clip from Futurama, and it's one character saying, well, I don't have an opinion one way or the other. And for the longest time, it was exactly the same like and dislike on that video, and that's gone. That's gone now. And that's sad. Those long-running memes are dead. But yeah, that's just how it is. Creators can still see their dislikes, so they didn't even fix that. They didn't even fix it. It would kind of, yeah. It's a weird change. I wish I understood more about the reasoning behind it, like not just like their external thing, like their reasoning, like what they said in a press release, but what they actually, like what some people in a boardroom got together and decided. And my beard has like some hairs. Like, do you see these bad boys? Like, they are just doing their own thing. Like, they are just like taking flight in every direction. I think I slept like on my face, and those dudes are still in like the sleeping position. I think that's what's happening there. I'm just looking at my own image on my screen. I'm thinking, wow, I got some beard hairs going in some gnarly. They got a mind of their own. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to draw. Your beard has hairs? Nah, bruh. Not like this. All right, so what I'm gonna do now? What's the general plan? Is what I'm gonna finish filling out this, and then we're gonna pick a color for the buildings. We're gonna kind of fill it in, and then I'm gonna start adding a little bit of detail to the buildings, to the buildings, and we'll make them more interesting than bricks, but probably not that much more interesting, because I mean, let's think about what buildings are. I mean, they're boxes that you put people in them, and we're just gonna play with those. You know what? He's a big boy. He's over there. Just kind of do that, and then what comes after that? Then I want to put something on the road, and we can talk about that, what it's gonna be. Because at first I was thinking we put like a cool, like retro, like sports car looking thing, but now I'm thinking like car chase, or something. I don't know. In this hellscape we've created here. If you want to read about it, they have a full essay on it. Melon, you were so informed. Not informed at all. At all. I haven't been to the US in such a long time. It's going to be exciting to visit it once more. Do y'all still have you still have everything there, right? Stuff is still there. Ooh, yeah. I mean, we gotta work on scale. I mean, let's just pretend that we put like some lines on this road, and by pretend I mean let's really do it. But you get it. So like say we had like a line here. We can even have a lot of fun with this, because we can do this business, and that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. Make it dashed. Go 20 and 10. That's pretty good. That's kind of what roads look like. We could also go, yeah, like we could go the Venmo Builder route with it and put many different types of cars on the road. And they're stuck in this kind of thing. I don't know how long I want to work on this image, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. So we'll just see. Is this a 2-lane highway over here, or is this a 1-lane situation over here that we're merging into? This is looking like a setup for that meme, you know, where they the Fast and Furious, when they like separate. What we got here? All right, dude. Hey, dude. Thanks for sharing the stuff you're going through, man. And you got another cool emote thing called 7TV. All right, I'll check it out. Take it easy, dude. Have a good sleep. And it was good seeing you again. And stay healthy, stay cool, and yeah, catch you another day. All right, let's kill those colors. By kill them, bring them back, because we need new colors. And so let's get going on that business. From like a mood standpoint, what are we going for? Are we going for whimsical? Are we going for futuristic, realistic? Like let's start playing with some color. Like if we made this thing like more like kind of dark, for instance. All the above. Futuristic and funky. Future funk. If I googled future funk, I wonder what I get. I'm gonna do it over here off stream. Those are the words that describe what I'm feeling. Is that it's a music genre. Hey, but this gives us some colors actually we could look at. Future funk. These are different images than what I had over here, but this is kind of what I was thinking. I like this with a gradient. We get some like cool kind of thing brewing here. We need more pinks in this, so let's switch that up. Also, I think if these like tall boys back here, like give them the old boot, because I think in the background. All right, so everything is gonna derail in the next 5 minutes. Because all the colors are gonna be off, and we're gonna pull it back together. So bear with me. So what do they use for? It's like a bright blue down to like a yellow with a pink in the middle. I like it. Let's make that our thing. Bright blue down to a yellow. With pink in the middle. Maybe not quite this blue, a little less saturated, but something like that. It's actually a sweet ass gradient. Kind of have that going across. And if we work with these like pinks and purples and blues, like from this kind of gradient, let's pick that out. So I grab I'm just moving this so I have the full range in the background just so I can kind of see it. Yeah, I like this. All right, we're figuring it out as we go. Let's get this like pink in the middle. I'm just gonna create this color. That's not the one I had. It's the one I had. Oh yeah, this one. Oops. This is our color range we're gonna work with here. I'm actually thinking let's give it like a really punchy pink somewhere in the middle here. Oops. Maybe on this side. It's a little too punchy. I watched Squid Game last week. Have y'all watched Squid Game yet? I won't do any spoilers. We're not gonna do that. But I want you guys' take on it. No spoilers. I will ban your ass for spoiling it for people. Imagine art being bland. Imagine though. Honestly, kind of really like this color, but I just wish it hit a little harder. There we go. All right, and then we get this blue over here. Let's take this bad boy, and what we'll do is we'll make it a little bit darker. We'll make this one even darker here. We'll make this darker. We'll make this one even darker here. Ooh, it's coming together. But I didn't actually get the right color over here on the left. Everything was yellow, and it was all yellow. Okay, that's punchy. I like it. Yellows are so weird, but this one's working. This yellow's working for us. You haven't seen it, everyone talks about it, and it's irritating hearing about it all the time, and I'm scared that if I watch it, it'll become one of those hosts. He'll become one of those people who talk about it all the time. One of us. Yeah, I liked it. I wish they would have done other things sometimes with some of the characters. But it's a fun show. I enjoyed it overall. I think we need one more color. I'm thinking here. Yeah, I think it's probably like this, like kind of purple somewhere in the middle here. This is kind of close to this, but it's also distinct enough. Let's see what other colors we get from it when we do our little shebang here. I think it helps. I think it helps. All right. Let's start giving some of these buildings their properties. So if the light's coming in from the, like, because we kind of have this light source over here, we'll make the right side the bright one, left side, the dark one. No, that should be like the middle, right? Yeah. It's also not right. There we go. Yeah, shows are fun. Like I said at the beginning, I started watching Succession just today. That's a cool show. Don't know much about it. Looking forward to watching it some more. Thinking maybe we don't make the buildings ever yellow. The yellow is just too big. It's not really working for me. Let's keep maybe even the buildings like all the same color. Let's give it even like, I wonder what if we just made them the purples and the pinks. Like if we just worked within this kind of subdued. Ooh, that's even kind of cool there. All right, we're finding our footing here. Finding the footing. This is like even kind of underneath it, so maybe we use like even like a darker color over here. This one's a little bit tricky because it has so many other shapes with it to make it fit there. So multiple shapes. That one's a little difficult. So this one is in the shadow of this one. So we'll have to play with that. So like maybe this one gets all the dark colors, and like, I don't know. Maybe it just gets. Maybe get some light from the side, you know, but the top's like still dark. This building is a little problematic in its position. Big old microwave over here. It's like a CPU case. Just put them over here. Hey Melon, take it easy, man. It was good seeing you. Thanks for giving me the rundown on what's good with the dislike button and everything in the world. I hope you have a good week. There's no way, there's a 0% chance I finish this piece, and we'll just see how far we get. But you have a good one. All right, let's get rid of these yellow dudes, yellow buildings, and then we are out of the woods here. It's clicking together now that we have like a common color scheme. It was looking a little rough. Not gonna lie. Let's make this one purple. Let's pull that down. And are you usually around at this time? I didn't get a chance to hang out here much. Yeah, I stream only on Sundays. About at 10 p.m. my time, it's about 2 hours prior to right now. And yeah, I usually stream for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how it's going, how I'm feeling, general vibe, and what we're even working on. What have you been getting into these days, Joe? I've also just kind of been really detached from like Twitch stuff. I haven't really been checking in on folks. I feel kind of bad about that. It just hasn't. It's kind of unplugged for a bit from the whole scene. We're gonna make all these like a little bit smaller so we can see some of that background coming through. And one thing we can even do is take all of these that are over here, that are that color, and we can make it a gradient. I think I need to first create a gradient and then do that. Yeah, so what we could do is we could maybe have all these kind of go from like that to that. So make that a gradient, select all these. It just gives that like a little bit of texture. I just did the same thing again. Can I can't merge those, but what I could do, this one's going to be hard to do. I can make this other one the black color. Make it this guy. You just detach from the whole rat race? You're still streaming though, right? Let's like give this like a little bit of texture here, just like a little bit of that noise, you know. Let's do that. Let's do that on these two. Just on the bottom side. Yeah, it's fun. Maybe that. We'll do some of that here. Give this like a little bit of that noise texture there. Just love the way that stuff looks. I think it just looks so nice, especially on these like kind of taller buildings that are going to be behind things. We can make the whole thing look kind of nice. If we give it the other color, kind of coming up from the bottom, and just give it some of that noise texture on that side too. We'll fine tune it for each, like maybe this one over here gets a bit less like that. You haven't streamed since mid-September. Oh shit. YouTube has been my focus, but I've detached myself from that too. Yeah, dude, I totally. Let's take a little pause, do some real talk. I totally feel you. I really enjoy creating art and like drawing and stuff, and it is it's been really nice to like have a like sacred time where I sit down and like just create something and do it, and that's like been really healthy for me to have that set aside time. But I've reached a point where like, and when I first started doing it as well, like I got a lot of energy from it, and so I like started creating all kinds of content and posting it everywhere and like doing stuff, and I'm still excited by it because I still enjoy it, but I don't have as much energy to keep up with it, you know what I mean? And so like the posting and the like doing all this business, like I've just completely fallen off. Like I haven't posted a YouTube video in almost a year, and like streaming, like I used to stream 3 times a week. I don't know how I did that. I used to get up so early in the morning to stream. Like I am barely scraping by, keeping it together to do 1 a week. So I get that, man. Like taking time for yourself and like just doing your own thing. That's so important. I think, yeah, I think if I were doing like just playing games and stuff, I think I would have stopped a while ago. Just because I enjoy playing games, I do it all the time. But streaming stuff doesn't give me anything when I play games. I mean, it's fun hanging out with the community, but that's more for the memes than it is for like lasting enjoyment. If that makes any sense. So I get that, man. That's I'm proud of you. It's huge. The content game it's rough, and yeah, I mean, like doing it myself. Like I run out of gas on it. I don't know how a lot of people keep up with it. How do I select everything? Is that everything? I think I locked this bad boy. Did I lock him? Tell you what, let's grab that guy, scroll up, and then grab everything. Here we go. Just kind of want to go down a little bit, I think. A little bit more of that background in there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, dude. I mean, keeping energy for these things, and I had a lot of guilt behind it too, which is a weird thing. The guilt thing, you know. I don't really know. I don't know if people talk about that or if that's even a real thing, but it took me a while to figure that one out too. Yeah, dude. It's one of those things like, so like for myself, how do I say this? I don't feel like I ever gave the whole thing the real college try, you know, like the whole streaming thing. I mean, I don't think I ever wanted it to be my job, but you know, deep down, there's always this you know, thought of like, wouldn't be that bad of a gig, would it? And but it's really difficult in the world today to not only put something out there, but to like maintain that relevancy. And for a long time, I think for me, like there was this moment. Go back to real talk again. I think there was this moment last year, or like early this year, because I had this thought in my head that like the problem wasn't my content or the way I was doing it or my skill. The problem was the institution. You know, like it's Twitch holding me back, man. They got to make money off their partners, and like, but I was a featured artist by Twitch. Like I had thousands of people see my art on like the main Twitch channel, and like that was huge. And I mean, I got a lot of followers and stuff like that. And like I think Miguel, you even kind of like found me through that. I think you're the only person that found me through that who still hangs out. And so it's like I know that's a cool thing, and I'm so glad it happened. But like it didn't really do anything for me. Like it did basically nothing except for bring Miguel in, which I'm so thankful for. But it's just one of those things that it made me actually confront the realization that actually there's so much more that goes into this, and I just kind of decided then also to like take it less seriously, in a good way and also in a professional way. Like I just decided to have fun with it and just make it my thing, where I just make art or do whatever I want for a couple hours on Sunday. And that's just my thing. Yeah, the view butting stuff is for real. Yeah. I mean, I won't lie. That was very fun. Okay, so I mean, like that, like when I was on the homepage, like, and I was doing like one of the isometric pieces, and like people were popping in, and there were like 500 people in there, and that was very fun. You got to like pretend to be famous for 5 minutes. That was really fun. It was just very active, but it was also super chaotic. Like there was no way I could keep up with everyone, and like people were shouting out things to draw, and I just couldn't do it. There was no way I could keep up with it. And so there's at least for the art stuff, I think there's like a pretty fun there's like a fun goal of like maybe if I get like 50 people, you know, like that'd be like a manageable audience to like I could hear everyone shouting their insane things they want me to draw, and we're still a big enough group of people that, you know, is a group of people. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I could ever do the 500 thing again. It's just impossible. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. But mostly, but it was just also really hilarious. Yeah, nah, dude, it's the truth. It really is. But hey, that's just how it is. All right, so what do we add to this? It's got some cool vibes to it, but what do we bring into it? What's it missing? I feel like it's missing some. We got to give these buildings some love, give them some texture, give them some meaning, and when we do that, we'll be able to. All right, so let's see here. If we make these like. How do we, you know, what we could do is, you know, if we put, wait, how does this work? If I do this, will it automatically, oh yeah, it does. Oh, that's amazing. Check this out. This is dope. So like you have this alignment tool where I have like, I just choose like the outermost ones. So like, check this out. I'll just grab all these. I think I have one too many. and you have this like distribution tool, I'll be like, distribute them. Wait, no, first I need to align them. Oh wait, this didn't. I thought this was gonna work, and it didn't. Hey, Mike. Sayonara Wild Hearts. Dude. So I have the, what's it called, the thing, the Apple Arcade. I can never remember the name of these dumb services. And Sayonara Wild Hearts is on there, and I downloaded it and then never played it. And I was like, I'm just living Mike's life. But yeah, you gotta help me. Oh, I missed some what you said, Joe. You said you've been watching a lot of other streamer friends of mine go up and down the past few months. Yeah. Yeah, viewer attention is super difficult because it's also like, here's the thing, because you need to you can't just do your thing, because you'll just become completely irrelevant. You need to stay fresh. You got to innovate, but if you innovate, you'll lose people. So what do? You gotta do both. You gotta do both, and that's hard. So, dude, Mike, what's good, man? What I don't want these actually dotted at all. Is that possible? I just want it straight. Oh yeah, that's the straight button. And I want these. How do I do this? I want these on the inside. How do I do that? Order. Draw stroke behind, draw stroke in front. It's not, I don't think, what I'm talking about, but let's just roll with it. All right, I'm going to make these yellow, and I'm going to make this a gradient. And I'm going to give it the cool gradient, and we're just going to, whoops. And we're going to go across like that, and that's how we're going to make it look like glass, but I don't really like the stroke. So we're going to go 0.5 maybe on that. 0.5 because we're in Europe. That's kind of neat. Hey Joe, dude, it was good hanging with you, man. You take it easy, dude. And yeah, let's chat again sometime. Maybe this time next week. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm definitely going to take some time off in June or in December. What month are we? So I think I only got like two or three more streams this year. I got to plan those. Anyway, take it easy, dude. It's good seeing you. Oh, you're not leaving. I thought that's what gotta do both was. Oh, that's both. Nice. No, I thought you saying you gotta do both was like some Zoomer word for saying you gotta leave. And so I you gotta do both. I'm always trying to do both. Dude, Zoomer memes on another level. I love it. All right, we're gonna make this. We're gonna do a little trick here. Little trick, and that is to make this whole thing. Whoops. We're gonna make this top building, these like front ones, really detailed. And then, and then when they're detailed and they looking cool, we'll get away with less detail in the back. So that's just how it goes. But one thing I want to do is I don't love the way, the gradient on. I don't love the windowsill, like this border still. It's still not doing it for me. That's a little bit better. What's a buff? It kind of sounds like British slang as well. Like it sounds like something that Mike would just say to me on any given. Oi, buff. Buff is British slang. I knew it was British slang for something. There's a 0% chance you don't use that word because it's too British sounding. Somebody buffed. I love it. Oi. What's Mike? What is your favorite British slang word that you have that you use on the regular? Can be a new one, can be an old one, can be something your grandpa like a. I guess give me two. What's your favorite one, and what if you went up to an old man in a bar and you were waiting for his best British slang of any kind? What would it be? Putting me on the spot, man. Normally you work so well on the spot. It's all good. All right. It's fine. It's fine. You can answer me by mail. Just mail me your answer. We'll cover it. We'll cover it on next year's show. I'm a fan of these reflective windows. My window game is popping off right now. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but it's going great. You just remembered something. Actually, it's not relevant. I mean, would it make sense to say it? Is it something that needs to be said? We can do a Discord call. I'm willing to hear it. We don't all speak how you think we speak. Yeah, you say that, but come on, man. I've. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't lump you into a bucket. But come on. I just think I don't mean it as an insult. I mean it as a compliment. You guys are on another level when it comes to like you can just take any noun and add er to the end of it, and it can be it can mean that you were drunk, you know. I was completely you just give me a noun. I was knickered off my wanker. I don't even know what that means. A stig. I've never even heard that one. Trolleyed. Yeah, trolleyed. See, that's solid. I just poke fun because I care. And I just find it fun. This one's coming together, y'all. I'm feeling it. Sloshed. That's sloshed reminds me of another great one. Dosh, like money, right? Is that a right one? Dosh. That's a great one. Bifter. What is that? Means cigarette. Never heard that one, dude. That's a solid one. Bifter. Bifter? How would you even know how to spell that? That's like another. Oh, you're in my voice channel. All right. I think I actually don't know how this is gonna work.
Yep.
Hey, Joe.
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Just gonna turn down the music.
I don't know if I don't know if this just makes sense only in my head, but so let me know if this jives or if this means anything. So there are times during like big raids or like medium-sized raids in general, however you interpret that, whatever that means to you, where it happened somewhat frequently where people would come in, like new people, right? They'd come in and they'd be like, "Oh, haha, this channel is really cool, haha. Oh, wow, you have, really cool personality, haha." And then you're like, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's really nice of you to say." And then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, when do you usually stream?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, 3-4 days a week usually, blah blah blah." And then they're just like, "Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I'll be back. Haha, this is really cool. Thanks, LOL."
Yeah.
And then like, you come back live the next day, and then the day after, and then 2 weeks after, and you literally never see them again. Just they're gone.
I'll never forget. I'm not gonna name them on stream because I wouldn't do that. But there was this one guy who like hung out that whole stream where I was featured on the homepage, and he was he was super active in chat. It wasn't just like a one-off thing. And I was like, like trying to like introduce him to the community and the Discord and all that, and like just try to get him to feel comfortable, feel like it's part of the club. And I was like, when I was wrapping up, I was explaining like when I stream and like when the next one will be, and he was like, "I'll for sure be there." I never saw the guy again,
dude.
It was just hilarious to me. It was like, I mean, it doesn't matter, it's just, but I think of that guy's name every once in a while for no other reason. I was just like, you lied to me, bud.
They stand out to you, right? Because it's only weird. Like you said, it's not because like you're mad about it or anything. It's just because it's just like,
it doesn't matter.
It's just because they sound so excited. They're like, and in the back of your head, you're like, okay, cool. I got another person that might come and hang out.
It's like, why else would you volunteer that information? Like, it changes nothing.
Yeah.
Like, if you say it, if you just said like, "Hey, this was fun," I would be like, "Yeah, it was," and like we don't have to ever think about this again. But you bringing up the fact that you will be there and then don't show.
You feel like you feel like you should be owed cab fare, You're like, "Oh, I've just been used and abused." Great. for your sick enjoyment.
Oh, it is just a funny thing, isn't it? Like it's like just a very specific like streamer emotion that
and most people like let's say you went to Reddit and posted about this. People on Reddit, like let's say the Twitch subreddit, which is a whole mess by the way, but you posted on there, people are like, "Oh, maybe you should be more grateful that they came by." It's like, no, that's not. You're missing the point. It's just weird. That's all. Like It's the same thing like in real life. Like that's why it's weird, is because in real life our brains are attuned to people who we feel like are into us as like friends or whatever, right? Or even girlfriend or whatever. You know, like when someone quote unquote comes on to you that strongly about something, you in the back of your head you kind of assume like, oh cool, we might, talk with this person more. Or even let's say on dating apps, it's the same thing with dating in general, like, the whole ghosting phenomenon, right? It's
Sure,
like you get people that talk to you sometimes, you have these long conversations, or maybe you had a good first date with someone, for example, and you feel like you hit it off, and like they even tell you that they hit it off or something like that. Then you hear nothing from them. You're like, what?
Yeah.
It's the
Streamer
same
ghosting,
exact thing. Yeah. Dude, that's it. Streamer ghosting. Holy shit, there's a new term out there. Wow.
Yeah.
Totally right.
And Miguel, you're like the only one who said like, I'll be there, and then you showed up, and he's one of the good ones.
But dude, it's funny because they almost always say the same things. Like they always use, hold on, I'll post it in your chat. They always use that emoji, right?
Yeah.
And then they always say haha. They never use lol. They never use tech W.
It is always the robot smiley. Yeah, you're right.
Dude, there's something about that smiley, man. I keep telling people this. There's something about that smiley that could be so weird, and also it could be very passive aggressive if used in certain contexts, which I've experienced.
It's the dead eyes in it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's got dead eyes for sure.
Anyways,
I wish I could like zoom in on that. I want like a ultra HD version of that smile.
There is on Franker Faces. There's
okay.
I think it's, hold on, let me find it. I know I have it on my thing. Let's see. Let me see what it's called. I think it's called like Smile W. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Okay. I posted it in your chat. It's literally just what you said. It's just a zoomed in version of it to make it look extra evil.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Anyways,
that's so good.
That's just, I just wanted to share, because I know if I put it on Twitch chat, you'd be like,
I get it.
I feel like you'd kind of get it, but like it wouldn't make as much sense if I explained it. No. Yeah.
There's a bit of a story there too. Your thumbs would have gotten very tired.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing I've been thinking about lately. Well, I got you here. I talked about it a few weeks ago, but I also lazy, as we've also talked about. But I've been wanting to do like I don't want to call it a podcast because that's much too official and kind of missing the point of what it is, but I kind of wanted to do like what we're doing now, like just a talking interview, except for I would just kind of do art at the same time. I would just kind of be doing my thing, and I would just ask questions and have the other person kind of ramble and tell their strange stories, like people in the community. And I'm wondering, I want to do it as a test. I like just chatting, but with like the art side of it. Like we would be doing exactly what I'm doing now, but I would just kind of like I was tabbed into the other thing, but I would just like kind of keep drawing. I don't know yet if I can even do it, because I struggle to even talk to myself while I'm drawing, much less talk to another person. But I think it could be fun. I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying, because like it lets you focus on your work, and you can still have some level of extra engagement alongside it, which kind of adds an extra like layered element to the stream and just like the interactions and stuff. So it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's difficult to not everyone's like super into telling stories and stuff like that. Like you gotta like you gotta prep a lot, like you gotta ask people about their childhood and the shit they saw growing up and things like that to really get a story going.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that like, I have stories to tell, but only when people remind me of them. Which, I mean, I guess that's everybody, but I just feel like that's just, kind of like just how my brain works, I guess. But
sure.
I mean, I guess you're not gonna be the person. I don't know if there's any person on Earth that just remembers all their stories all the time and just tells people them all the time. So I guess that
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one thing like that, and the reason I haven't really even kicked it off as a thing yet, because I got to come up with these questions, like try to get people to remember stuff, and to
to like
not just remember things, but like
therapize them. Yeah.
Yeah. But you want the funny stuff too, like.
But what Bazil said here is like, I think some of the best stories are the short ones. Like, I don't think this.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a long story that's like entertaining or easy to listen to.
That's true.
Like you'd have to have like 99 charisma to pull that shit off.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. And yeah, most people just aren't very good at telling stories. Like they just get, and then my grandma's friend Anna, which actually she's not important to this story, but
oh my God,
they just derail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big problem I had growing up, was the derailing. Like the issue was like when I was younger. And I think this was a problem of me just not being socialized enough growing up, because like I just I lived with I was like in a suburban type area where it was like I had like maybe a friend or two, but not a lot. But I mean I still had a good family and stuff like that. But anyway,
sure.
like I wasn't socialized enough, so I think like the point is like growing up, and like in my early 20s even, like there'd be times I would just kind of trail off in conversation, I wouldn't realize it. And like there would be no point to what I'm saying, and I like maybe like a minute into what I'm saying, I wouldn't even realize it, and I would just keep trailing off, and people would be like, "Oh, cool, haha. All right, anyway," and then I'm just like, "Oh, great."
Did it again.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Are you an only child?
No, I have 4 sisters.
Four sisters.
2 from a separate marriage. I didn't see super often, but
okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. And where are you like? Or we don't have to get into this now if you don't have time.
Oh, it's okay. I got a little time.
Yeah, like, are you the oldest? Or like, young? I mean, I'm not trying to steal your passwords or anything. You can just speak cryptically.
It's totally fine. Yeah, no, I'm the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I have a pretty big family as well. I'm the oldest, and so like it was always like, I don't know, like it was always very strange. Because there's quite a gap between me and my brothers. Like the next one's up. Like I'm 6 years older than my other brother, and so like it was like a long period in my life where I was basically just hanging around with just adults, because I lived in a pretty rural area, and so there weren't like kids around, and so like the only people I socialized with were other adults or like my parents' friends and stuff.
Oh, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I don't know, like I don't really know where I'm going with this. It didn't make me like particularly good or anything at anything, but it just made me like, I did have a weird effect. Like I remember people telling me like, you don't act like a kid, and I was like, I don't know what that means. Like I don't know what to do with this information.
You feel more adulted.
Yeah,
because I had that same thing, like where I didn't really have many. I mean, I had like for maybe a couple of years in between, every now and then I have some friends to jive with and stuff, but in general I didn't have a lot of like friends I hung out with like frequently, whereas most kids did. And I don't know if that was me just being a hermit and playing video games all the time, but
sure.
But I just forgot where I was going. Shit, what was I gonna say? Wow, I just totally blanked. Holy shit. But yeah, no, I think it's just like with adulting and stuff like that, you get exposed to different types of conversation, like more sort of small talky kind of conversation and stuff growing up, and you don't really get like socialized with like unique experiences and stuff, and you kind of just get like the bare bones of conversation with adult. Okay, I just remembered. Most of my socialization came from like adult gatherings, like in like Thanksgiving or family gatherings, stuff like that, which it's still healthy and stuff like that, but it's not like a lot of it is still just very bare bones conversation, and like, right. But like where they're just they're like, oh, how's school going, how's like what are your goals, like just basic shit. It's just like it's not fun to talk about, and I didn't have a lot of people growing up to like really just talk about whatever really until like maybe early college, honestly. Like early college is like where I got like I got fucking ass blasted with like just all different kinds of cool experiences. Like I remember I had like this group I smoked weed with all the time, and like we drank a little bit, and we just had like just amazing time. Like college,
Yeah.
like I don't want to be that guy, just like, oh, college is my best year, brother. Wish I could go back a day to week. No, seriously, it was really good. It was a very pleasurable experience to go back.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool when you find your people, that you feel like you can be yourself around, and I mean, it makes all the difference.
Dude, it does. Yeah.
It took a long time for me as well to like find that group where, I had like one or two friends growing up, that we could be nerds, to each other and like talk about things, but for a long time, I mean, I always felt my identity was very, very confusing and weird because like I mean, I played sports and I played basketball and soccer, and I was fairly athletic. Hung out with those people, but I also really wanted to do like robotics and like programming and do art stuff, and so I was also like friends with these people, but those groups never meshed, and it was all very confusing because I was kind of neither, like accepted by neither really, in that way.
Yeah.
And so it was always it took a long time for me to find friends and place where it felt
dude,
like
I
it fit.
you kind of reminded me that like I feel that same exact way. I grew up again, I was also playing a lot of basketball and stuff, like my dad got me like rec leagues and stuff like that, and like I enjoyed it. I still had a great time, but like I also was a very much like a nerdy kind of like gamer kid who just played video games all the time, and like I guess at that time back then in like the early 2000s, sort of my I guess you could say our type in that sense was pretty uncommon. You didn't get a lot of kids that did both. It was either they were very sporty, very popular, socialization at young age, or they were just very nerdy, and they still had like, dude, even like the nerdy kids had their group and clique, and it's like I was just like I didn't really have any clique, because I just did both, and like I don't know. So I know what you mean when you say that, because it's like you feel like the hybrid nerd jock type, and it's just like it's definitely uncommon. So I
the hybrid nerd. That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah. And it's funny because like in high school and even like college and stuff, there would be some kids that like they like when I told them I played basketball and like a lot of other sports and stuff, they'd be like, oh, I didn't really think you did. I'm like, why? And and I feel like a lot of it is just some people from certain groups don't expect you to like know a lot about their type, just because like, oh, I played sports, but like it's just kind of stereotyping, which is bullshit obviously, but and it's just cool. It's kind of cool to at least be able to connect with people. And I think now, though, as an adult, it's really served me well to be able to, be exposed to so many different types of groups and people, because you can just relate to people on almost everything now, in like a lot of different areas of life. So it's like maybe like at a young age it didn't serve you well, but I think as you get older and really become like a true adult, sort of, you just kind of be able to you can mesh that with your ideal lifestyle and meet a lot of cool people. I know I have. So I mean, that's why I moved to Portland, Oregon, to meet people on Twitch that I befriended a couple years ago, and
cool. I didn't know you lived in Portland. That's dope.
Yeah. I lived in upstate New York my whole life, and then I wanted to move west after like COVID hit. There was this big unemployment benefit that we were given in the US, and you got these huge unemployment checks, and I just didn't know what to do with them. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I just had this gut feeling I want to move to Portland, and I've always wanted to move west, but I actually happen to have friends that all just happen to congregate like in the western sort of US, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So I just ended up moving, and it's been great because I can finally have people that I truly like relate with on many levels, which is a really solid feeling,
That's super cool. So you've been really happy with the move?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's honestly, it kind of feels like a second wind of life, if that makes sense.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great when that happens.
Yeah. I would say like honestly, like since college, I haven't like really felt that I've made like a really good decision. But yeah, dude. There's times in life where you feel like in a rut in a sense, in terms of like your lifestyle, not necessarily like things going good or bad, just more like just things just being stagnant, and it felt like that for a good couple of years. And I'm like, and it's like I had family that I loved and stuff like that in New York, but I just knew I had to just start a new chapter kind of thing, and Yeah. So, everyone's got their things. Some people will stay in one area for the rest of their life. Other people, they'll travel around. And I guess I'm just one of those people, So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's super dope. I mean, it's a big move. I mean, I've done one of those big, like, crazy moves, and like, it's so scary when you do it, but it feels so freeing when it clicks together. Like, I can't really describe it. This is
dude, I had this I remember when I was on stream talking about it with I was playing Star Wars at the time. That's not relevant, but it was just a pretty chill stream in general, and oh hey, you got a free band by the way in your chat.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. I've always wanted to be famous.
Anyways, yeah, so I was playing it was Star Wars and or what's it called? Force Awakens. Really good. I still haven't finished it, but anyways, this one guy at the time, he was a mod in my chat, which by the way was a mistake of me modding him in like the first like couple weeks. I felt like it was a really good choice, then it just turned out to backfire pretty much after this event. Basically what happened was I was talking about like my Portland trip and like how I was gonna do it, and it was I just knew in my gut that it was gonna be a really good choice for me, and just really positive like vibes overall, just talking about it and stuff. And he just comes in and just basically just rains on my parade, dude. Like he was just like out of literally nowhere. He's just like, well, have you heard about the fucking the riots out there? Or I don't think back then. Actually, I don't think back then that stuff was happening per se. I think his logic was just like, oh, are you sure you want to expose yourself to that culture? Like there's a lot of like hippies and stuff out there, and like I feel like he was half joking but also half serious, which kind of bothered me a bit, which I didn't really I wasn't particularly mad about, because most people have reasonable complaints. I'm like, I just told him, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, it's I understand that and stuff, but it's like I just knew it was a good decision for me, and I had people that lived out there, and it just made sense, but the issue was he kept going with it. Like he kept like standing by what he was saying. Like he's just like, are you sure about that, man? You don't seem like that kind of type of guy that would fit out there in that culture. I'm like, what do you mean, like not that kind of guy? Like that doesn't like this. It's weird because the reason why it felt off-putting to me was because when someone tells you like, oh, you don't seem like that kind of guy, like they're making so many assumptions about your character that they don't even know about you. Which
exactly,
like it's not necessarily what he said. It's more about the assumptions that I felt like he was making about me that bothered me, And like to me, that is an underlying deeper issue, right? And I think some people miss that point. I remember because I kept like I kind of contested him on that on stream, because I as you know, on stream I'm pretty straightforward with people, obviously, and but only like when it's reasonable. And in this case, I felt like it was reasonable for me to stand up for myself. Like, no, listen, like this is a good decision for me. I don't know why you feel the need to blah blah blah. And then he's just like, dude, chill out or calm down. I'm like, oh my god. Like when that happened, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is getting ridiculous. Like when someone tells you to calm down or chill out, it's basically a low key form of gaslighting when someone does that, because it's just like the classic "you mad, bro?" Because like, they're literally putting, or they're trying to like mess you up a little bit. They're trying to throw you off kilter a little bit. Like they're trying to assume like, oh, I'm the calm person here, not you. I'm the one who's relaxed, and like, and I think people can be non-relaxed, or they could be very like, I feel like he was kind of like upset that I contested him on something, and he wanted to like defend himself for some reason, that he's just like, dude, calm down. Or like I wasn't even that mad. It was a super chill stream, and it felt kind of weird for someone to say that. And I remember like a couple minutes after, I literally ended stream for about 15 minutes because I had to like recollect my head after that whole. I'm like, what the fuck just happened, And what Mike said, positioning ourselves in the high ground. But yeah, playing the moral, like, oh, I'm the good person here. What do you mean, Like dude, growing up, I had that problem. People doing that shit, like bullies and shit like that. They'd pretend to like, like be the calm person, or like, oh, why are you so mad, bro? Look, small dick energy. But yeah, long story short, what ended up happening was like off stream, for like when I was just like recollecting myself, I'm glad I did this. I ended up banning him. Like he was a mod and he just got banned, which I never do like that quickly. But dude, like there's some people that I think like, and I feel like in his mind, he was probably he actually put in like an unban request, or he tried messaging me. Oh, you know what it was? He tried messaging me. He's like, dude, I'm sorry, blah blah blah, like the whole spiel, like the whole essay paragraph, like blah blah blah. I'm sorry I did this, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, like, I think there are some sorries that like she's like, sure, you said sorry, but I still think that it's an underlying issue that you need to work out with yourself when some people
Yeah,
act
for
a
real.
certain way, And also another thing too was I remember on stream when I watched his stream a couple times, he would drink on stream a lot, and like I don't mind people drinking, it's not an issue, but it's more of an issue when people drink in excess because it's very rare for someone to drink in excess and be in a good state of mind or be like
Sure.
friendly to
Yeah.
people, which is that's
Yeah.
just how our brain works when we're on alcohol. That's just how
Yeah. Yeah.
But in general, I think people can say sorry, people can apologize for certain stuff, even people that you particularly you might have liked or were you're friends with. But I think there are some situations where you have to be comfortable standing up for yourself and knowing when you feel like you're in the right, And I think
Yeah, absolutely.
when you're younger, you have a hard time figuring out what is right and when some person is gaslighting you or not. Because dude, another thing is gaslighting is a very adult term. It's very hard to understand what that means when you're a kid or when you're a teenager even. Because you don't know when it's happening, And I think there are some people on, I mean, just not just Twitch, but just social media platforms in general, where they'll do that, And if you're not mentally garrisoned enough, if you're not comfortable enough with your insecurities or your own identity, it's very easy to fall in that trap of like, oh, maybe I'm in the wrong here, maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I was, it's like, sure, maybe sometimes you can own up to some stuff and you can look inward in yourself, but sometimes you also have to stand up for yourself and be like, oh, listen, this is what this person said is bullshit, and I have to feel comfortable with be like, no, listen, you're wrong, and here's why, and being a mature adult and explaining why. And it's funny because when I was explaining to him on stream, like why he was wrong and stuff, he just kept like trying to defend himself. Like, no, listen, like it's just one of the, it's more just like like if someone comes to you and tells you like, oh, I'm making a big decision in my life, and here are the reasons why. You don't just be like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't make this decision, and here's why. I'm like, no, that's like, I'm talking about a positive thing in my life, and you're just shitting on me for no reason. I'm like, what the fuck?
For real.
Oh, it's so odd. Man. So weird.
That is weird. I'm happy that though that this has been like it's worked out so well for you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's. I mean,
that's huge, man. Because I mean, I live in Germany, and I think we've talked about this, but like it's I mean, when I made that move, I mean, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I had no clue. And that was pretty naive of me. Like I went into it with a lot of questions that should have been answered previous, but I was like, I'll figure it out. And I mean, luckily it worked out. Like everything that needed to work out, for life not to fall apart. I was extremely lucky in that time, but part of it's also the people you meet along the way. Like that's part of that luck, but made some really good friends that they help you, they guide you, they mentor you. They don't do stuff like that, they support you, and it's huge.
And you said you're married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you moved, were you still married?
No, I met my wife here.
Oh,
she's
cool.
She's one of those good people I met.
Wow, no shit.
Yeah.
What Rat said.
No, for sure.
Realize how many people do it casually every day. Yeah, no, I mean, I think some people do it more discreetly than others. And it depends on the area you live in. I think it also depends on, again, how comfortable you are with yourself and how comfortable you are with standing up for yourself for certain things. But you're right. Yeah, I think a lot of it is very environmentally dependent, with gaslighting and emotional kind of manipulation and stuff like that. Or get bad community. That can happen too. It really all depends. Yeah, and also that's another thing too, is it's easy to misinterpret gaslighting sometimes, and maybe, and that's just the nature of human communication, is trying to discern what is and isn't bad or good communication or manipulation, things like that. Yeah, figure out the differences. Exactly. Yep. Not easy. That's another thing actually it just reminded me of, is how, like with puberty, with guy, I think in general, like, physical puberty ends at, like I think for guys and girls ends at like 21, 22 at the latest in some cases. But our emotional maturity doesn't actually reach its peak until, or not peak as in like it's gonna fall down, but peak as in like it's reached its optimal level until like maybe your early to mid 30s in some cases, or late we'll say late 20s to mid 30s in a lot of cases is where emotional maturity tends to peak, and that's been proven with science and studies and all that stuff. Um, but that's kind of why I think like I think girls or guys and girls reach that emotional maturity at a much younger age because they're socialized differently growing up,
Right.
which is that's just how our gender dynamics work in this world, right? I think, especially in the U.S. by the way, but in general, just guys and girls are socialized differently, at different ages and stuff. And guys, I think are more comfortable talking about certain emotional stuff when they're older, just because our brains are not just our brains, but also how we're socialized, environmentally speaking, around the people that we live with, people that we're friends with, things like that, right? You kind of get out of that, like as a guy, like most, like we'll just say like the average guy, they kind of get out of that phase of like we'll call it the bro phase after like age like 24, 25, and you finally get exposed to the adult world for the first time, and you live on your own, and then all of a sudden you have to like actually look internally and learn more about yourself, which is a very scary task for a lot of people because maybe they weren't comfortable doing that when they were younger.
Right. Yeah.
So that's really interesting, But I know for me, at least, I don't know if it's true for you, Gun, but I think I was more comfortable with it than other people at this age. Like I think I reached that sort of maturity maybe like a little bit sooner than some guys, only because it's not just like the virtue signal or anything like that. It's more just my genuine feeling about it. But like I felt that I was already much of a loner anyway. So like for me, living on my own, it still felt pretty natural to me. Like growing up, I was always playing video games by myself. I was always doing shit by myself. So I was already comfortable looking internally with myself for the most part, And man, some people like in their like or late 20s and mid 30s, some of those guys are the opposite, where they don't, maybe they're still stuck in that bro phase, and they're still in that mentality of like, oh, dude, gotta go out, gotta get fucked up, dude, and
Yeah.
not that there's anything particularly like morally wrong with it. It's more just along the lines of like I think self-development and personalized like actualization, and learning about yourself and learning about your life. I remember I had this roommate that he wasn't necessarily a bro, but he was just very, I'm not gonna say idiot, I'm just gonna say dull, a very dull person. The reason why I say that, and I use that word for very specific people, right? I don't use that I don't throw it around, but no, he would blame me for things like that made no sense as a roommate. Like, first of all, he had a master's degree and stuff like that. He'd like, had all this like educational achievement and stuff. And I assumed because he had it, or he was going for his master's. I assumed because he was going for his master's that he was probably a decently smart person, because that's not easy to do. But
Sure.
I realized, like a month and a half in or so, he started blaming me for shit that I didn't, do. Like he would blame me for stealing his eggs, when there was like, when I had my own eggs to use to cook, when I bought them myself, he
Stole my egg.
he would blame me for drinking his milk when I had my own milk to drink, and I explained that to him, and he kept like having this very passive aggressive tone whenever I talked with him about like certain things, where he kept like very accusatory of me for certain things. And I think there's one thing I forgot to mention, Mike. He lived. It was him, myself, and his girlfriend that all lived together, and we had like separate rooms, obviously. But my theory is the reason why he was doing this was because it was a protection sort of mechanism that he had in his head. Like he probably thought that I was like hitting on his girlfriend, or when like,
Oh, interesting.
and she was attractive. Don't get me wrong, but I obviously wasn't gonna jeopardize my living situation just to fuck a girl. Like it's stupid. Don't be an idiot, right? And
Right.
basically, and he kept like just trying to accuse me of shit that made no sense. And I remember there was one like breaking point kind of day where it was very weird, because I remember I came home, and at the time I was kind of a pothead, and I explained that to him when I moved in, and he was okay with it. And then I remember like after like the first week or so, he wasn't okay with it, because I guess when I was smoking outside on the porch, like he said, the smoke would come in the apartment, and he said it would make his girlfriend puke. And like it's reasonable, But I remember after a period of time, it got to the point where he was very, very protective of her, and he was like making all these like really weird claims about me and stuff like that weren't true. And there's one night where I came home from what was it? Yeah, from just hang out with my friends, and um, I came home and there was police outside, like a cop car, and I walked inside and I guess he was getting interrogated by police or something. And I remember I asked, what was going on, and I remember he's just like, "Oh, I'm wondering what's going on with you, man." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's just like, "Oh, well, this officer came in and she's asking me about a counterfeit bill." I'm like, "What?" And she starts talking to me about it. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, and I actually remembered like what happened. And I said, she's like, "Oh, did you? I heard there was this, I guess somehow cops have a way to like track down counterfeit bills, and like that's pretty cool how they could do that." But turns out what I think happened was I used an ATM, and then I'm looking back on this, trying to remember what happened. I think I paid for something at like at a Burn Dairy, which is like a little convenience store in the U.S. And like I got like a $20 bill back or something like that. Then I used that to purchase weed or something. I don't know exactly like what happened. I could be just remembering this incorrectly, but long story short, like I just had no idea, right, what she was talking about, with this counterfeit bill bullshit. And then I remember he like after like she was done, and like when she realized that I probably wasn't at fault for this, she went back outside, and then he went outside with her, this lady cop. And I remember I was at because my bedroom window was overlooking like the parking lot area, and I could like I kind of opened my window a little bit to hear what they were talking about and stuff, because it was just her and him. So I assumed that like they didn't invite me outside, or maybe he was just trying to like schmooze her or something for just to like be in good graces and stuff, and make sure he's not like in the wrong or something, right? But I remember overhearing, and this is related. I'm gonna just go on a brief tangent here. When I was 18, I had a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome, which I think looking back on it, there is a little bit of truth to it. But then I also realized that a lot of that diagnosis was due to my lack of just not being socialized enough growing up, which makes perfect sense considering that my parents were divorced. I never really hung out with people. I was depressed. All sort of shit that was going on in my life. Those are very environmental situations, right?
Yeah.
And it could be very easy to diagnose someone with autism or Asperger's if maybe they talk a certain way, but also they have all these other environmental factors contributing to their, their lifestyle or their behavior, right? And that can lead to a diagnosis, but maybe that may not always be true. And I realized looking back on it, I don't think it's as true as I thought it was when I was younger. But anyways, the reason why this is related is because when they were talking outside, this really pissed me off about him when he said this, and I overheard him saying this. He's like, "Oh, well, he's autistic. He doesn't really know what he's talking about." I'm like, "Oh shit, he really just said that. Like, he really just threw me out of the bus. Yeah, just straight up threw me out of the bus. He tried to make me sound like a just some autistic kid, doesn't know what he's talking about. He's disabled, kind of like what the fuck, dude? Like that is like one of the lowest of blows I can think of in my entire life. Like I've dealt with some shitty people, but that to me was probably like the lowest blow I've ever had in my life of someone doing that shit. Like that really, like my opinion of him was already pretty low at that point. But when he said that shit, like I was like in my head, I was just I was stewing, dude. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And anyways, long story short, nothing really came of it. I didn't get in trouble. Nobody got in trouble for it, to my knowledge. And but the point of it is like. He was just like one of the just the shittiest roommate by far that I've ever had, and
sounds like it.
So many reasons. Yeah, and also too, he was a shitty pet owner, dude. Oh my god, what a nightmare. He would so at the beginning of our lease, he explained that his dog, like he's a cute dog or whatever, a little like smaller dog, I can't remember what breed, but anyways, like he's like, "Oh, don't worry about the dog. I'll my girlfriend and I will take care of it," and basically that was a lie. He was gone at work. I was gone at work because I worked overnights at like a senior facility, like from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I remember I would come home, and he would just leave his dog, and nobody would be home, and I would just be like, I had to sleep, dude. I wasn't gonna like walk a dog or anything like that. I'm just chilling. Like if someone tells me, you don't have to do anything with the dog, don't worry about it, I'm not gonna worry about it. That's just I'm not gonna take care of someone else's animal because I don't know. I just wasn't in my MO at the time. And I think maybe looking back on it, I would have maybe done something. But even then, like I don't know. I didn't really feel the need to do anything. And the dog ended up he kept crapping in the house. like over and over. And I remember there was, it was awful. There was one point where you couldn't even go in the living room. It smelled so bad. It smelled like dog piss. There was at least like 8 or 10 individual piles of just turds that they just wouldn't clean up. They would just sit there.
Oh my God.
They wouldn't do anything. They would just let it sit there. And I was in the hallway, in the living room. It was a nightmare. I was holed up in my room. I had to close the door all the time because the smell would just seep in. It was awful. Absolutely awful. It was a nightmare. And it was a nice apartment.
This is Egg Guy.
This
is all the same person.
All the same person. Yeah, I know it's unbelievable, but yeah, it was awful. It was literally borderline traumatic. Not gonna lie, it was awful. And I was 21 at the time, so I was still kind of mature, kind of not still. But anyway, what really this is another thing that really set me off. At the end of the lease, naturally, we got dinged for the carpet being ruined, right? Sure. Yeah. And I'm sure you can guess where this is going. Basically, the lease stipulated that if the carpet is unusable after a certain point, they have to replace the entire carpet. They ended up charging us like a carpet cleaning and redone fee, which was like a couple $100, something like that. And my roommate said that I should pay half, right? And I'm like, what do you mean I should pay half? This is your dog. You said specifically you take care of this, right? And you're telling me I have to pay half of this fee that you guys did nothing about. You never clean up after them. And you're telling me I have to pay half of this. And I had like no fucking money at the time. I was using like my refund check from college, from like student loans and stuff like that. And he was like so adamant about it. He's like, no, he's like, no, dude, well, you lived with us, blah, blah, blah. Just making all these just bullshit excuses. God. And yeah, so I ended up having to pay it, because I'm just like, because we weren't gonna, or because I guess, I would have had like a ding in my, housing record or whatever like that. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. It was at the point where I was just like, okay, I'm just done dealing with this shit. I just want to get out of here, whatever it takes to get this done and over with. So I ended up paying it. And dude, yeah, he was just like, oh God, what a nightmare. And funny enough, him and his girlfriend just had constant arguments and stuff. Like they were just a terrible couple. And funny enough, this is such a weird, like, universal kind of turn, like karma, turn of events. No, not a turn of events, more just like a universal, just like random, thing about, life and stuff like that. And I think it was about three years later or so when I was living with my dad. I was at a gas station, get gas for my car, and dude, just the randomness of life. I ended up running into him, and the just most unexpected place, right? And my hometown, right? This is like 20 miles out of the place I used to live at. In my hometown, ran into him at a gas station. He's like, oh, Joe. He shouted at me like I was about to get in my car. And I'm like, who's saying that? And I look back, I'm like, oh, Jesus, here we go. And, me being the nice person I am, I'm just like, I'm very cordial. I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going, man? And he's like, oh, dude, I'm doing great. Me and, so-and-so are married now. I'm like, oh, great. Wonderful couple, I'm sure. He's like, yeah, we have 2 kids now. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys already breeding? Oh my God, I can't wait to see those adults growing up. Anyway, and I'm like, oh, cool, that's good for you, man. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm living close by here. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever, And back in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck you, you piece of shit, fucking asshole, fucking douchebag. Like, I just wanted to say, dude, I wanted to lay off on him and say so many things, but I'm the kind of person that, like, no matter how much someone mistreats me or just says shitty things about me, my mentality at all times is always to take the higher ground, always, because it's just not. To me personally, it's not healthy for my lifestyle to hold that kind of contentment or hold that kind of. And obviously, I still hate the guy. He's a piece of shit. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm saying in general to lay it on someone else. There are only very, very specific circumstances where I feel comfortable doing that with someone. If someone really, like, they have to be a very specific type of person for me to lay out on them, and I'm only gonna withhold that energy for certain people. And I felt like at that time, I'm like, I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm just gonna be the bigger man. Just like, oh, just be cordial and walk away and go home. And I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, I ended up seeing him again, and I guess he's living his life now or whatever. I'm like, oh, great. So I really hope their kids grow up healthy and normal, because I feel terrible for them, honestly. Yeah. Oh yeah, and funny enough, I think at the very end of the day, when I look back on it, like in reflection, I realized that it was probably my fault that I got in this mess. And in a sense, not my fault, because I met him on Craigslist, and I was looking for a roommate at the time, And he was the first one to message, and I made that split decision. Like, okay, first one to message, he seems pretty smart, I'll go with it. Whereas looking back on it, I should just, waited for more people to respond to the fucking text. I shouldn't have just gone with the first person. So, but yeah, either way, he was shitty person. So yeah, just what an absolute fucking nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's quite the gaslight story.
Yeah.
I've never had a roommate that bad.
That's good.
I've never had terrible roommates. I think I've been pretty lucky in that regard. I've never had to, luckily, to really just. I've never been in a situation where I've had to roll the Craigslist dice. But yeah, it can make or break like a house. I mean, I was roommates with a really close friend now. Like we're very close. But there were some tense moments during our roommate period, and we talked like a couple years later, and we were just like, we are much better friends than roommates.
Oh yeah, no,
I think it wasn't bad, but it's just like the relationship just didn't click in the way that we knew it could, and we were just like, we can't really.
That's actually pretty common with roommates.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to be friends with someone, it's another thing to be roommates with that person, whether it's a friend or not.
Yeah.
That's difficult. Just look at siblings, dude. When you grow up with siblings in the house, like you're more likely to argue with them just because you're on them all the fucking time,
Yeah.
Even marriage in some cases, like it's very common to for disputes to bubble up, and you just things come up that you wouldn't have come up to with that person if you're dating, or if you're like I love my siblings, they're great, because I never see them anymore. It's like you miss them obviously, and
Sure.
But no, I know what you mean. Yeah, with I'll give you an example. My people here in Portland, I have a good friend of mine who streams, and his friend also streams, and they both have a streaming house. Like they've reached that level of success with Twitch where they can afford full-time Twitch between both of them and afford like a little smaller house for them, and that it works great. And I've done streams with them and stuff like that, like little co-streams. Like they're great people. But anyway, like it's funny because I've went out with them both separately in dinner, just because I want to get to know them individually more, and both, it's funny because both of them complain about each other like a married couple. like they're both like blaming each other for, or not blaming, but more just like squabbles. Definitely like some strong squabbles are happening in between them, and in the sense of like things that just really bug the person about the other person. Yeah, or rats and made an agreement of not working together. Yeah, honestly, that's another thing too, like running a business together, for example. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky thing to do. And isn't that even a saying, like, don't go into business with your friends? Like,
it is, but I feel like sayings like that I don't necessarily fully agree with. I feel like there are maybe specific situations where it makes sense to do it. Like let's say for example, you and a friend have enough, like let's say you and your friend have enough capital to start a business, and you both have the same goals, like the end goals of maybe like being a successful company, for example, or you both have these for like it can make like I think there are situations, like if you look at some history of companies where there are some very successful companies out there that probably started just with two friends. I'm sure that is pretty common. So it's like I don't think that saying is entirely true, but I think it's true for some people. Because I think the reason why is because some people think that they're really good friends, but then they're actually not, and that's just kind of it's in both of their heads that they're really good friends sometimes. I don't know. It's this really weird dynamic. I feel like that needs to be explored more, but interesting. Yeah.
No, I hear you. Yeah. That's fascinating. Gaslighting as a topic. I didn't think this is where we were going to go tonight, but this was fun.
No,
I really enjoyed this, actually. This was cool.
Yeah.
For somebody who doesn't have any stories, you got some stories, bud.
Like I said, for me, it's all about getting reminded of them. If someone can remind me of them, and also too, if it's a comfort thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's fun. Like this was really cool. I'd love to do this again. I think I want to wind it down here because I got a work day tomorrow. But I really enjoyed this. This was super fun, dude.
Yeah. Let me know if you ever want to do it again, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This was the prototype for this kind of format, and I think it works really well. I was able to draw. Yeah. And and it worked out really well. So I'll probably, I think, need to put in some more prep with other guests. You freely give stories quite quickly.
Oh yeah.
And I think other people might need a little bit more of a nudge, but I was also able to follow and draw, which was a test.
Yeah,
for
dude,
myself.
it looks great. I was watching the whole time. You holy shit! This, like, I remember when I first came into this stream, I'm like, okay, this is a little something here, and then this end. I assume this is the end product then.
I wanted to like put some cars on this road. I think that's like the only missing part, but I don't know if I want to keep touching every building and stuff. But
yeah, I feel that.
But it's got a little bit more personality than I did.
It looks really good, man. Like, this is every one of your pieces is just super unique. I'm telling you, like, that's why I always love coming here. You know, I'm sure everybody else that comes here would say the same thing. So you're doing great, dude. Keep it up.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say just text me, or I mean on Discord or whatever. I'm generally speaking, I'm usually free Sundays. You know, I'm just chilling, so you can just message me. It says, I always say this to people, it says do not disturb on my thing, but you can fucking disturb me. Like, I mean, the only reason I put that on is because it doesn't, you know, notify you of every little message that someone sends you, which I prefer. It's more just like I'll check it when I want to. But like, yeah, you can just message me and I'll get to it. So cool,
will do, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Commandante Rat, thanks for the follow. I didn't want to interrupt the story time, but
you guys were really contributing some good points. A lot of you guys in the chat. I was still reading along and trying to make sure I respond. But anyways, I'll bounce out of here, dude. Thanks for having me, man, and we'll see you soon, dude, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's for sure. Let's do this. I'm gonna let this song play us out, fam, and then I'll be back next week. Let's see. Let me look at the calendar really quickly. Of what's happening. Today's the 11th. We got the 22nd. So I got probably, I think, four more streams in the hopper before the end of the year and then the break. So this is really fun. I hope you all have a super good week. I'll be on Discord doing the same thing we do every week, just talking about dumb games and movies. But I really enjoyed hanging with all y'all. For a piece that we had no plan, it turned out pretty fun. Busting memes, man. We need a good new one. I thought I had one the other day, and then I kind of was able to crack it before we were able to get it wrong. But we need a new meme buster. Be on the lookout. All right, fam. I'm gonna let the music play us out. I hope y'all have a great one, and y'all take it easy. Until next time. Peace.